In Panama, the canal celebrates 25 years in the hands of the country, but it continues to be overshadowed in a nation that is the fourth most unequal in the world and now faces the imperialist threat of the United States to conquer the canal again. Our colleague Reka Chandiramani with the details.
When the Panamanians recovered the canal in 2000, the waterway ceased to be a U.S. military asset and became an enterprise at the service of world trade, connecting 1,920 ports, 180 maritime routes, and serving 170 countries. And although the canal generates billions of dollars a year, these benefits seem imperceptible to the majority of the population.
But history did not end up making the most collective use possible of the assets that were reverted. It turns out that here, after the invasion, once the military regime was suppressed, the democracy of those at the top organized things in such a way that those reverted goods passed into the hands of the oligarchy, and $30 billion went to the great robbery of that century.
The milestone comes with a bittersweet taste. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's onslaught on recovering the canal, citing alleged Chinese control and high tariffs, has brought to the fore debates on the background and remaining forms of interventionism after the reversion.
The canal is problematically involved with a treaty called the Canal Neutrality Treaty, which is not legal, is not in accordance with international law, and is not convenient for Panama. On top of that, it turns out that the reverted areas are in the hands of the new North Americans, in quotation marks, the new white people, and not in the hands of the Panamanian people.
But we have to disassociate ourselves from that treaty, and that should be the government's position to start talking about it. We cannot accept that every time they want they threaten us because we are a small nation.
After the signing of the Torrijos-Carter treaties in 1977, the U.S. Congress unilaterally introduced at least 6 amendments before ratifying it in 1979, the Concini Amendment and the Church and Number Reservation being the most controversial and interventionist in tenor.
We continue to be seen by the United States as their position to take care of their backyard in South America, and that is what Donald Trump is referring to, in the face of the possibility of a global conflict, to put us as a military objective of their enemies.
The Mulino government has been cautious in its responses to Trump, whose statements come as a bucket of cold water in the face of the accommodating attitude that has characterized all post-invasion Panamanian governments. Trump replaced current Ambassador Mari Carmen Aponte with Kevin Marino Cabrera, a Miami-Dade County Commissioner in Florida, an active Republican member and businessman, which signals a 180-degree turn in relations between the two countries, with control of the canal now the central focus. Para teleSUR, desde Ciudad de Panamá, Reka Chandiramani.